This is week 32. We're going to go through the homework sheet together. And my goal today is to try to give you some clues, but not give you all the answers, because I want the children, especially if they're watching this, I want them to figure out as much as they can on their own. I think it has a much longer range advantage than me just showing them visually what they should be doing orally. So, however, we'll start with the scales. And last week we did C and G. So I do want to show you because that is a visual thing. So I put my right hand on here, and what's most important again is the thumb motion, that the thumb is passing smoothly underneath without the elbow or the wrist doing anything to cause that to happen. We don't want to see this kind of movement. Rather, the thumb is just smoothly going underneath to play the scale. When we come down, again, we don't want to have a flow, but we want the hand to just gracefully go over. Left hand is the same thing. The hard thing is to remember it goes to the thumb and then crosses over. And same when we go down, the thumb passes underneath. One thing I can suggest to the children is to play them in contrary motion, where both thumbs are starting on the same C, and then the thumbs would go at the same time. As you see, the fingering is a mirror reflection of each other. So this, of course, this fingering is brought over to a G major scale, but they have to adapt the sound. So again, they're still doing this cross underneath. And they have to figure out where do we need to use sharps. And again, I'm not going to show you that because I want them to be able to figure it out by ear. The new scales that I introduced was the E scale and the A scale. So when they're working on it, they're going to use that same fingering. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you notice on the homework sheet, I put the 5 in a parentheses because we call that a bookend. It's really not part of the fingering, because fingering is in groups of 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see that on the assignment sheet, how I have them grouped into there. So when they're applying it to E major, they have to find the sound, and then they have to find do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And it has to sound that way. So if they're doing this, it's not going to be correct. It doesn't sound right, so therefore it is not correct. They're also going to start it on A, same thing, and I want them to be able to find these sounds by ear. So I am not going to show it to you today. Sorry. All right, we move over to improvisation. Last week I asked them to learn Improv 1 and Improv 2, and I'm sure some of the children were able to do it, and some of the children did part of it, and some of the children didn't do any of it. But I'm moving on to warm-ups 3 and 4. And what makes them different from 1 and 2 is that they are in triple rhythm. So just listen for a minute so you can hear what I mean. Listen to warm-up 1, where it's do, mi, mi, so, so, mi. And I'm hearing do, do, day, do, day, do. But when you listen to warm-up 3, it
Improv
changes.
warm-up 3 in C major, using 1 and 5/7 chords.
We're still in the key of C.
Now we will work on a warm-up in triple meter. Diane will sing a phrase, echo her. Then you will hear the same phrase sung and played. Echo the phrase both singing and playing.
Do, mi, so, so, mi, do, so, so.
Do, mi, so, so, mi, so, do, so, so.
Do, mi, so, so, mi, do, so.
And this is when they would play. Do, mi, so, so, mi, do, so, so. Now again, I didn't play just now because I don't want them to watch this video and figure it out by copying my hands. I want them to listen to that sound, and then they have to figure out how to turn do, mi, so, so, mi, do, so, so in that C position. And if I show it to you, it's not doing its job. For you, the parent, make sure that you pause the CD so they have time to figure it out, and they may have to go and hear it a few times. Although they've got good ears. I think if you let them continue, they can pretty much get through. Again, they're going to be using these three sounds: the do, the mi, and the so, or these three sounds: the ti, the fa, and the so. And I'm showing you where the ti is. For the left hand, it's the same thing. They're going to use the do, mi, so, and the ti is found to the left of do. Over there. All right, that's as far as I'm going. All right, then we move on, and it says there's Let Us Chase the Squirrel. It says to now play hands together if they haven't yet, so I'm looking for them to play the melody in the right hand and the chords in the left hand the way it's written in the music. And then I'm asking them to play it through 3 times a day, and that way they're maintaining the piece. We move on, and it says there's a new piece by ear. It's Billy Billy, and I have in big caps. Use the practice CD. If you have a music download, it still is the practice CD, and you have to use it to review the patterns. So if your child says, I don't want to, let them know. Well, the homework assignment says that you have to use the pattern. So here's number 5.
Patterns for Billy Billy.
There are 2 patterns. We did them in class.
Listen to each pattern and then echo using solfege. If you need extra time, press pause. The first pattern starts on
Do.
Do.
Bum, 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 bum.
They come back with do, la, so, la.
Do, la, so, la.
Do, la, so, la.
Bum, bum, bum.
Mi, re, do.
Mi, re, do.
Mi, re, do. Now, if you were listening, you noticed that the melody first was being done in the right hand, and then the melody was being done in the left hand. And that makes the piece a little bit longer. Now, the other thing you may have noticed is that the pattern do, la, so, la has 4 sounds. They have to turn that pattern into here we go, a Billy, Billy. That's 8 sounds, but they got a pattern with only 4 sounds. So they have to figure out how they're going to change that pattern so that it covers here's the way we Billy, Billy. And that's what they're going to figure out on their own. The next phrase is Billy, 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 Billy. Again, they're going to use the do, la, so, la, which only has 4 sounds to cover a phrase that has 8 sounds. So you may want to ask them, well, what are you going to do it? They can't change the sounds. In other words, they're not going to go find a different sound. Perhaps they may want to repeat a sound. That's a possibility. So if you listen to the patterns, it's here we go, a Billy, 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 Billy. Here we go, a Billy, Billy. And so they have to figure out that they're going to use that pattern 3 times. And then the next pattern is mi, re, do. And they're going to use it all night long. Now I hear 3 sounds, and all night long also has 3 sounds. So that one they don't have to do anything to it. So again, they're going to play it with the right hand and then the left hand. All right, then I wrote to learn a piece on your own. This is optional. In the back of the book, there are some supplementary pieces they can begin to look at and perhaps learn. Also, they can find pieces outside of the program that they may want to bring to learn. And they may want to ask me for pieces. There are plenty of places where there are free downloads and places on the internet, fun pieces that they may want to learn. So this is something we'll discuss in class. Now we move to the games, 6/8 triple song rhythms. Please don't drop this one. This one takes time. To do the whole thing, it takes about 7 or 8 minutes. They should do this whole process a few times this week, because they get to play with the green triple song rhythm cards a lot. And the more they use them, the more familiar they will be with them. And that way, when they come and we play the games, they'll be able to move the cards more accurately. Shuffling cards and moving cards around can be a challenge for some children. Finally, there's a writing assignment, and it's a mystery rhythm on page 10 in book 3. And you're going to complete the page. Just follow the instructions. It's going to ask you to use those green triple rhythm cards. They're going to have to copy them. And then they have to figure out what that rhythm is. And that's kind of fun. Don't give it away. Let them figure it out. Let's see how many of them can do it. They're going to have to actually know the rhythms. Now, if they did the 6/8 triple rhythm games, they'll have a better time at the mystery writing assignment. If they do the mystery writing assignment without doing the mystery rhythm game, it will be more difficult. Well, I know you were waiting for me to show you everything today, but I'm trusting that their ears and their smart brains are going to figure out the patterns for Billy Billy and figure out the patterns for the improv warm-ups. I think that they're capable of doing these things. If you have any questions, you can email me and I'll be happy to send you a secret video showing you the answer, but you may not show them to the children. All right, see you at the next lesson.